Yeah, this is going to be a bit more serious video. It's going to be more of a rant, really, more than anything else. Unlike before, where we used to just laugh and poke fun at whatever. This whole Christian situation is honestly absolutely fucking disgusting. And it burns me to the core when I see this absolute degeneracy on the internet. And it's just normal. And that's what I've noticed. Over the years, with my time on the internet, this sort of shit was rare back then. Even then, it wasn't celebrated. It was condemned in every single aspect of the way. But nowadays, it's normal, it's funny, it's a gag, it's something that happens. And that should not be allowed. That should not be okay. I think, really, Christian, what he's doing today, which, by the way, is not the end of his life. His prison sentence at maximum is going to be 12 months, and his bail is only $2,500. That is absolutely nothing, right? That man's going to walk free in society, and honestly, he's a fucking menace. People like that should not be living amongst rational folk. I just don't believe that. I don't think so. This guy shouldn't be anywhere around me or my son ever again. He is basically the result of someone that is raised by the internet. There's a proverb, an African proverb. A child is raised by the village. Not the parents, not the family, not the friends, the village. Including everyone. His whole family and friends and everyone, even strangers. All of them take part in raising this child. And when the village is the World Wide Web, it is the internet, well, this is when you start getting people like that. And people like that should not be anywhere near real people. Like, he needs to go to an actual mental hospital and be checked for health. Now, why am I saying this is bad? Why am I saying all of this is horrible? Why is this unacceptable? Because, again, this is the result. Someone who's literally been raping their mother. I'm sorry, where's this kid's dad? Where's his dad? Can we go back to beating the shit out of our children? Especially ones that do shit like this? I can't judge him off of my own standard. You know, I have a family and I have friends and I have a loving community and I have all these things that I don't think he had. Because if he did, he would not have done something so deplorable as raping his mother. She has dementia. She has no idea what's going on. She literally, physically and mentally cannot consent to any sexual act. And why is his horny 39-year-old ass, why does he think that his mother, 80-something-year-old, listen, sex in general, in all of its forms, is absolutely unacceptable. It is not okay. Don't tell me this shit is okay and it's normal, it's none of your business. It is my goddamn business. Especially when it starts resulting in shit like this. When people start going to prison over it. When there are people being raped and hurt over it. This is literally the law that you're breaking right now. And it all started with that little principle that was supposed to be harmless. Oh, leave him alone. It's none of your business what he does in the bedroom. Yes, it is. It is my business. It's everyone's business. Especially when it brings these types of results. It is all of society's business. Listen, the devil, Beelzebub, or Iblis, or whatever, Satan, whatever you want to call him, whatever name you have, we all have different names, but it's the same thing. The devil will never show you his true form when he first appears in front of you. He will always come to you in a way that seems attractive, in a way or another, whether it's in terms of lust, or in terms of greed, or wrath, or pride, or whatever, any of the deadly sins. In terms of lust, however, this is where it all goes wrong. This is when people start telling you, oh, sex is fine, it's okay, people should be able to talk about it whenever and wherever. No, they shouldn't. Time and time again through history, it's been proven that any exposure of sex of any kind to children is traumatizing. And when you have traumatized children, you have traumatized adults. When you have traumatized adults, you have abusive, dangerous, volatile members of society. The West is literally devolving, and it all started from the sexual revolution in the 1960s. And honestly, I need to explain I need to explain, at least so that we're on the same page and you can understand where I'm coming from, why this all started, how it started, and why it's a horrible idea. Let me bring you to this thread. Sexual debauchery leads to the collapse of a civilization within 3 generations, which it does. The TLDR version is basically a sexual revolution was a mistake. It's a poison, it unleashes termites into the foundation of the West. So if you no longer want to be with me throughout the rest of this thread, just skip to this timestamp. Okay? So let me just read the first little tweet. Oxford anthropologist J.D. Unwin studied 86 societies and civilizations to see if there was a relationship between sexual morality and human flourishing. What did he find? This is the summary. 1. He defined 4 categories of cultures. Each one is different in their pursuit of art, engineering, literature, agriculture, so on and so forth. Dead. These cultures are only focused on their day-to-day needs of life. They don't care about higher questions, and so they do not progress. 2. The superstitious. These cultures develop beliefs that help them explain the natural world. This can be represented in the special treatment of their dead. 3. The deistic. Characterized by belief in gods or a god. This requires more imagination and higher order thinking. 4. And the final one, the rationalistic. They are rational thinkers. This was the category that has the most human flourishing. Does that sound like the Western society today? With all due respect, in terms of culture and tradition? Is there any sort of rationale? Let's continue. Unwin defined sexual ethics and restraint into 2 categories. Prenuptial, this was measured on a scale from complete sexual freedom to remaining a virgin until you're married, and postnuptial, which is how easy is it to get a divorce? How many wives can a man have? How faithful are the women expected to be? And here's what he found. The single most influential factor was prenuptial chastity. If people were expected to remain virgins until they were married, the culture was more likely to have all of the markers of human flourishing. They were more likely to be an advanced civilization. So you tell me, what happened when you started giving people this quote-unquote freedom? Humans are animals. At our core, genetically, evolutionarily, biologically, we are animals. We are monsters. We are not rational people. We have to be led and raised away from our base instincts. But that's not what happened in the West. You guys did a full 180. You're like, no, women should do whatever they want with their bodies, and men should be able to do whatever they want with their bodies. Well, guess what the fucking result of that was? In this second tweet, he says, it's the most important because in cultures where virginity was no longer expected, within 3 generations, the following disappeared. Absolute monogamy, deism, and rational thinking. Does that sound familiar? Because that's what's happening in the West right now. Everyone's an atheist, no one's monogamistic, everyone's only thinking for themselves, no one's being rational, people are so goddamn emotional, so much shit is going on, the news cycle, the 24-hour news cycle is so apparent, it is just, no one can focus on any one thing. The best combination that results in a culture that's better than every other culture is prenuptial chastity combined with absolute monogamy. Meaning, one person for the rest of your life and you're a virgin until you're married. This creates the best harmony for any society ever. And that is the complete opposite of what's happening in the West. It is absolutely deplorable. It is degeneracy what is happening right now. The West is literally devolving and going into chaos and dying. And it is horrible because the people there don't see it. Virginity before marriage is literally one of the prerequisites for modern civilization. Without it, people usually regress into the lowest dead category as they become interested only in their own wants and needs, and they become slaves to their appetites. Doesn't that sound like your culture today? Doesn't that sound like the melting pot of the world? Isn't that what's happening? This absolute devolution. Why do you think so many men are going red pill? They're going black pill. They are staying the hell away from this culture where every single woman has fucked 10 to 20 guys before getting married. At this point, no one's thinking about anyone else. Everyone's thinking about themselves. Everyone's being selfish as hell. What do you think that's gonna do to your society? No wonder you people have so many goddamn fucking problems. Cultures that have embraced total sexual freedom collapse within 3 generations. They can limp along for a time, powered by some momentum, but eventually they are conquered or taken over by another culture. What did Epictetus say, or some fucking philosopher, I forget his name? Nations are born stoic and die Epicurean. That holds true in every single aspect and every regard, and we are seeing that today. We are seeing it, but apparently no one that's living this culture can. No one living in the West can see it. In the West, the sexual revolution started in the late 1960s. 3 generations from then would put us in 2070. Are we on the way to collapse? Yes. Yes, you are. And it looks like you're going to be collapsing way sooner, way faster, way quicker than 2070. And honestly, it's just sad. Because there are so many people or human beings that are being born into your society without wanting to. It's injustice. I mean, I'm thinking about myself right now. What if I was born in the West and I was born in America and I was born in this environment that raised me to be like this? What control would I have over myself? What if there was no outside influence that taught me of the disgusting depravity that was happening in my culture? What if I never knew? Would I end up like that? No way, that is disgusting. And people should be shamed. People should be judged. No, you shouldn't be proud that you're a lesbian or gay or trans or whatever the fuck that you're talking about. It is disgusting. Don't be prideful of your sexuality. That is not something that you talk to anyone about anywhere ever. Let me just continue with this thread, or else I'm never gonna finish it. You can't have both sexual freedom and progress. Unwin said, any human society is free to choose either to display great energy or to enjoy sexual freedom. The evidence is that it cannot do both for more than 1 generation. Marriage is not a private contract between 2 individuals. It has ramifications for the entire community and culture, and it does. It does. What you do in your bedroom is my business. It's everyone's business. It's my child's business. It is society's business. What you do in the bedroom affects you. It affects how you are, your substance as a person. If you are a disgusting, horrible person that slept with 30, 40, 50 people with all kinds of genders and races and reproductive organs changed and mixed and made with surgeries and plays with hormones for your children, oh my god, what the fuck are you people doing to yourselves? Porn is cancer. It is literally cultural cancer. And they're right. This all started with porn. After the sexual revolution, porn normalized this degeneracy. This depravity became normal. People started expecting it. Brothers started wanting to do sexual shit with their sisters and mothers and family. And it is absolutely disgusting. Imagine your son trying to come up to your wife or his sister. What? I'm sorry, that is not normal. I would beat him to death. First of all, it's my fault that I even exposed him to porn, especially at the young age that these people are being exposed to porn nowadays. So that would be my fault for not paying attention. But at that point, we got to the line of no return. He crossed the line. He's dead. I'm actually going to kill him. You don't do something like that. That is not acceptable. No one should tolerate it. A healthy civilization, or one that wants to progress, will eradicate it or push it to the fringes of society. There is one reason why Christendom has produced some vibrant cultures: its sexual ethic. And what is the most important sexual ethic of Christianity? Chastity! Chastity and self-respect and dignity. The gospel is a leaven, I don't know what that is, that gradually leavens the whole loaf. Any culture that embraces Christianity eventually rises up Can you imagine the vitality of a Christian China? And by the way, this speaks volumes of other religions and cultures as well. Look at the Hindus. Look at Brahmacharya. Look at what happens to a man when he retains his seed. And this video is, honestly, this entire rant, this entire video is completely directed at men. I am talking to you in a very harsh manner, but this harsh manner is coming from tough love. I would not talk to women like this. You have seed inside of you. That white shit that you have devalued for so long is the most important and valuable liquid in the universe. We can literally scientifically create an artificial womb, but we cannot create artificial sperm. It is too powerful of a substance. This thing will literally make or break your entire life. Do not waste it on women, pornography. Do not waste it on anything. I absolutely implore you to, at the very least, if you're not going to read the books, if you're not going to look it up, if you're not going to try and find out anything about semen retention, at the very least, very least, as a man, you owe it to yourself to go to this subreddit, go to the top posts, and just browse. Don't even believe anything. Just skim through it. Just look at what's going to happen to you. Something's going to click in your head, and you know it's going to be true. A culture can be turned around, so there's always hope. Massive repentance can bear fruit. But based on the data, it also takes 3 generations for improvements to start showing up. Sexual ethics is a powerful rudder, but it's still a rudder on a huge lumbering ship. As a man, you have sexual energy. That's not going to go anywhere. The only thing that's wrong today is that men are wasting it. They are wasting it on themselves, on women, on goddamn porn, and you're not transmuting it. The greatest men in the history of the world have used that sexual energy in a way that makes it productive, rather than wasting it and spilling it everywhere and becoming degenerates themselves. Nikola Tesla died a virgin. Edison, I'm gonna have to put a lot of examples for you in the description, comments below, but I really am trying to make a point right now. Let's just keep on going with the thread. Unwin's work also lines up with other literature on male sexual energy and how it must be contained and directed in order for a culture to thrive. Heed the warning. Now, I'm going to be linking the thread so you can read more and more on the topic, but I think it very beautifully summarizes the point. Stop being a depraved little lunatic pussy that comes every day, that is a coomer, a doomer, someone that absolutely doesn't know what to do with their life because all they do is jack off all day, play video games, look up cheat codes, sleep, shit, and die. Do not live like this man. Do not live like Christopher. Do not become like him. He is the result of his environment. It is a disgusting one, and he is a victim. Do not be a victim like him. Rise above the occasion. Become better, and don't listen to these fucking feminist SJW pieces of shit that are going to tell you, oh, you can't say that about gay people and lesbian people and trans people. They're people too and they have feelings. No, what they're doing is wrong. They know they're wrong, and that's something that is exclusive to the West. I've never seen any group of people in my life ever do something like this. In the West, when someone does something wrong, they're going to convince you that you're the one that's wrong for seeing what they did is wrong. Everywhere else in the world, when someone does something wrong, they will recognize that they did something wrong. They will be ashamed, and then they will try and change. But in the West, there's no such thing as shame. Look at all the Karens. Look at the crazy culture you have. There is no such thing as shame. No one's ashamed. No one's being judged. No one's embarrassed. Judgment is a virtue. It is not a flaw. As a man, do not be a weak little pussy that bends to the will of every single little woman that whines at their ear. Don't say this, don't do that, don't be like this, and then they get cancelled. Don't be like that. You are better, you are stronger, and you are above all of that. Be wise, be stronger, be better than this. Because we are better than this. Don't lead a life like this man. Be better. That's all I have to say. Fuck this shit.